What's good, everybody? Welcome to Outside the Playbook. In this episode, we're going to be reacting to Austin Rivers talking about Kevin Durant being the greatest scorer of all time. Before we get into that, give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, click the link down below in the description to get discounts on brands like Fanatics, Dad Gang, and Dubby. Let's get into it.
Everybody wants to know what I would do if I didn't win. I guess we'll never know.
Lately on Twitter, there's been a whole thing with KD going at fans and people talking about if he's the best scorer of all time. He must be probably known as more than that. But when it comes down to scoring in your mind, do you think of what makes the best score? Is it a blend of efficient, but also the high volume of numbers, like getting to 30 a game? Is it being able to make game winners and scoring when the game's on the line? Like, what to you makes KD one of the best, if not the best scorers?
So I'll answer that. For one, it's a multitude of all those things. I don't think it's one answer. You can't say what makes a great scorer is this.
Yeah.
It's a multitude of things. How efficient are you? How many points have you scored? How many points on average do you score? How hard are you to guard? How many spots do you have on the floor? Are you a 3-level scorer? Are you a guy, like for instance, the all-time leading scorer? It's complicated because he's not a guy who's a 3-level scorer. He can be at times. You know, LeBron's only gotten you got to give him credit. He's like, the older he's gotten, the better he's become as a jump shooter. You got to give him credit on that. But like, he's not a guy that's going to hit you with a move, stop on a dime, pull up two. KD is a perfect 3-level scorer. So that's why this answer is so complicated.
Because a lot of people were coming at KD in the comments saying, you know, Kobe and Michael, to them, to a lot of people in their eyes, that's what a score looks like. That's their. Well,
I don't. You can't argue that Kevin is not what a scorer looks like.
Right.
I mean, that's just and to their Michael and Kobe were, bro. If Michael and Kobe, if Michael played 20-something years, he'd probably be number one in scoring.
Yeah.
Okay. If he didn't take 2 years off of baseball.
Now, that is actually accurate because, and I hate playing a what if game. All right, but to add credibility to what he's saying about Mike. Okay. Mike took a year and a half off to play baseball. He played 17 games the second year of his retirement. Okay. In the middle of that retirement, he was putting up 2,500 a year, somewhere around there, 2,300 to 2,500 a year in points. Okay. So let's just say 2,500 for year one. Then you add in another 2,000, 2,002 for year two. That's 4,700 points. And we're already at what? 37,000 career points for MJ just off of adding in a year and a half of scoring. All right. Then you look at the second retirement. Okay. You lose 98, 99, 99, 2000. And then 2000, 2001. He'd probably be slowing down, but I'd say 1,800 to 2,000 points. We'll just say 2,000 because he was still able to get to his spots, raise up. He was very healthy at the end of his career, still playing 82 games a year. So I would say we're going to be generous, give him 2,000, right? Around that 2,000 mark for those 3 seasons. That's 6,000 points right there. All right. Let's dumb it down a little bit. Let's say 1,800. Okay. So 18, 36, 54. That's another 5,400. We're looking at about 42,000 points for Michael Jordan. And that's playing around 20, 21 years in his career. So if that's just adding credibility. This is not, a what if, throwing out numbers, hyperbole. When you go back and you average out seasons, you say, let's predict what this year is going to look like for MJ. MJ probably would have finished his career around 42,000 points if he played an even longer length of time in the NBA.
All right, or a year, whatever it was, to play baseball and then also retire early. Michael averaged 25 at 40 years old with the Wizards when he just came back randomly and then retired again.
Before he got a knee injury, he was putting up 25 a night.
So you're telling me if he never took a break and just played all those years through, and he's top 5 or 6 on the list, could you imagine if he just played all the way through? He would be number 1, guys. It's not even up for debate, but he didn't. Okay. So LeBron's number one, but his game doesn't match a prototypical score. It's also not sexy. LeBron's game is built
that's
on.
why no one puts him right into that.
LeBron's game is built on force, sheer will, dedication, his mind, his IQ, the way he's able to dissect and control a game, power above anything else. He wills himself to the basket. Now, as he's gotten older, you got to give the guy credit. He's become a better and better and better jump shooter. It's crazy. He's going to retire probably being the best jump shooter he's ever been.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that. What you got to give credit to his work ethic. You don't do that by not getting in the lab. But his game has never been a sexy score. When you think of that, you think of the fadeaway. You think of the post up. You think of mid range for one. Being able to get to a spot on the floor and hit a game winner.
Bag
work. That's what people prototypically put. That's why they're like.
Now, there's evidence. There's videos going around where LeBron James does display bag work. But him saying that LeBron doesn't have a sexy game, you're not going to say he has a better one-on-one game than Carmelo Anthony, a better one-on-one game than Kyrie, better one-on-one game than Kobe or Mike. It doesn't look like that. It's I need to do whatever it is I need to do to get the job done. Those players have a grace to their game, a swagger to their game. His is, like he said, built off brute force, but he does have skill. And when you compare games, nobody's going to choose LeBron's because it doesn't look sexy, but it turns out to be 40 to 50,000 career points.
James Harden, you think of him going to
James
ISO twin his legs 2 or 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a complicated thing to talk about because are we talking about results or are we talking about the aesthetic?
Yeah.
Because if we're talking results, LeBron scored more than anybody, guys. All right? If you're talking about the aesthetic, then you're going to go off someone that looks like they're a more polished scorer, who's more skilled on the offensive scoring side. For instance, LeBron has scored more points than Kevin. Kevin can score in a much more variety of ways than LeBron.
Yeah.
You can argue with the wall, but that's just the truth. LeBron doesn't have half the offensive bag that Kevin has. But LeBron has been so dominant at the things he does do offensively, he hasn't needed it. He's been a freight train his whole entire career. You know what I mean? Karl Malone wasn't doing in and out crossover step backs, but he's all time. He's up there too. He's like 3rd or 4th on the scoring list.
Right.
So if it shows if you're really great at one thing, Kareem had a hook shot, had a shot you couldn't block, then you can score a lot of points. Does that make you the best scorer of all time? I don't agree with that. No.
Yeah. What LeBron and Kevin have over, let's say, Kobe and MJ was the efficiency part of it. I saw a stat that Kevin hasn't led his team in shot attempts since 2018. That's great. Kevin Durant's not leading his team in shot
My
attempts.
only problem with that is the evolution of the game has really brought up the importance of analytics.
Now, mind you, Michael Jordan's shooting, I think, 49% for his career. All right. The years in Washington lowered that. He was over 50%, but he's at 49. In comparison to LeBron, I think LeBron's at 50 point something, and Kevin Durant's around 52.
Percentages. Not to say they didn't matter before, but they just didn't as much. All right. Our whole game now is predicated off numbers, whereas before it was an eye test thing. People didn't care that Iverson would have 30 on 30 shots. They'd be like, man, Iverson was dominant tonight. Now, if you do that, you get crucified for it.
That's a fact, and also a fact. Iverson back in the day, cool 30, and you look down and he was like 10 of 30, 10 of 27, but Iverson was getting to it. All right, no disrespect to the legend. Iverson was for sure getting to it. But one thing that Kevin Durant said recently, it really made me think hard about this conversation of scores. All these daggone ads, man. Basketball Reference, y'all got to chill. But all these conversations surrounding Kevin Durant as a scorer, we only look at him as a scorer. But let's start with that conversation first, all right? 27 points, 7.5 rebounds, 7.4 assists. We're going to focus on the 27 points right now. 50, 35, 73.7, okay? 50, 35, 73.7 on 27 points a night. We look at Kevin Durant, 27.2, 50.2, 39, 88. Kevin Durant's the more efficient scorer. Now let's look at some other numbers. Now, I know there's a lot of people that's going to watch this video and be in the comments, so I'm just going ahead and say the obvious thing. LeBron James has never in his entire career averaged lower than 20 points. Not a single time. Never. Never averaged lower than 20 points. LeBron James has not shot under 50% since 2004-2005 season. 20 years straight over 50%. That's efficiency. Let's look at some of these numbers. 27, 31, 27, 30, 28, 29, 26, 27, 26, 27, 25, 25, 26, 27, 27, 25, 25, 30, 28, 25. LeBron James has not scored under 25 points for a season since his rookie season. So, efficiency for a 20-year span. Above league average for a 20-year span. Now, let's also talk about this. Nobody has ever considered him to be one of the greatest scorers in the league, but he's consistently more efficient and putting up more points than most players, except for Kevin Durant. We already looked at his average. Let's talk about the numbers in comparison that we just talked about with LeBron. Excuse me. $20 points his rookie season. Kevin Durant also has never averaged below 20 points in his career. Let's count some other numbers. 25, 30, 27, 28, 28, 32, 25, 28, 25, 26, 27, 27, 29, 29.9. We'll give him 30, 29.1. And then that's for the entirety of the season, going from Brooklyn to Phoenix. Then 27, 26.6. Kevin Durant has not seen below 25 since his rookie year. Since his rookie season, he has not scored below 25 points. Let's talk about efficiency, okay? Because Kevin Durant's efficiency is very different than other players' efficiency. And you'll see what I mean in just a minute, okay? Field goal percentage, 43. Rookie, not great. 47, 47, 46, 49. And then the rest of these are 50%. He has not had below 50% since the 2011-2012 season when they lost to the Miami Heat in the NBA Finals, okay? Now, let's look at his three-point percentage. It goes from 28.8 to 42, 36, 35, 38, 41, 39, 40, 38, 37, 41, 35, 45, 38, 40. Got to Phoenix and went crazy, went 40. No. 8 games. He played 40 in Brooklyn. 8 games. Still, that's impressive. 8-game stretch, shooting 50% from 3, but 41-43, okay? Kevin Durant has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 years of his career shooting 40 or above, okay? Free throws. Kevin Durant has 4 seasons shooting above 90% for his career. His efficiency, when you look at the 50, 40, 90 seasons, when you look at him putting up 32 points in 1 year, and everybody's comeback to that is, yeah, but he didn't score 81. Yeah, he didn't score 69. Yeah, he didn't score. You have to understand that having the most doesn't always mean the best. In my opinion, I always look at, okay, let's look at the point total. I'm talking about on average. All right, how efficient were you? Okay, were you not as efficient because you're a volume scorer? Okay, cool. So if you're a volume scorer and you're not shooting around 47, 48, 49, 50, but you're around that 45 range, I need to see 30 plus. I need to see 30 plus. Kobe gives you that. Mike, he'll give you 30, 37, 35, 33, but he's shooting over 50%. All of these players deserve to be in the conversation for greatest scorer of all time. Undoubtedly. But one thing that Kevin Durant says was that we are diminishing his greatness by just considering him to be just a scorer. And you don't really think about it, but he does have a point. The reason why we don't look at his game in a complete way is because he has no defensive teams. None. Not a one. When I look at Kevin Durant's numbers, sorry, right here, 27.7 rebounds, 4.4 assists, he has a well-rounded game. You look at film, he can guard. And when it's time to guard up, he will lock in, get a stop. Great team defender, became a great team defender when he was in Golden State, when they were playing for championships every year. He held his own as a help defender and as an on-ball defender. You're not going to get credit for that when you look at the other side. You're going against LeBron James. You're going against Kawhi Leonard. There's Paul George out there. There's Jimmy Butler. Guys that are at your position constantly racking up all defensive teams. Yes, they're better defenders than you. So you're never going to see a defensive team selection. But film never lies. Kevin Durant is one of the greatest players we have ever seen. So I think, yes, he's the greatest scorer we've ever seen. But I think in a way we have to start opening our lens up a little bit and consider all of the other things he brings to the table instead of just looking at what he puts in the basket. Give this video a like, subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments. Is Kevin Durant the greatest scorer of all time? That's one more for the good guys.